Ay, 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 ay. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I do this to myself. You know you're not gonna enjoy this one. You keep playing. Oh my god. Oh shit. I'm recording. Hey everybody, welcome back to Amnesia, the Dark Descent, which is the one that we are playing. So yet again, I am in my basement, all the lights are off, both sides of my headsets are on, the volume is on max, but there are people walking around upstairs, so there are also going to be background noises, wow, okay, an imaginary accent. Let's continue where we left off, wherever that was. So I know the last time I played, we explored the lab, and there was like one room that we didn't go check, like upstairs, and then we have to like follow that trail of blood. So let's go explore up here. Okay, L2 is to run. I remember that much at least. And I don't have... Yeah, don't have any oil or any of this shiznit. Okay, tinder boxes, that's what it's called. Oh, man. Okay. This, oh wait, you can't go in there. Okay. Okay, this place opened. To his beginning to well in his eyes, you receive the first kick in the stomach. What the hell? Okay. This is kind of weird. So someone was getting their ass beat. Oh man, man, I am looking forward to this, but also I am not looking forward to this at all. Okay, there's a light up here. Okay. What the hell?
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk.
What are they digging for?
How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me.
Okay, so
when I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all.
What?
An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber.
Why?
No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
But why are you doing this? Okay, nothing in there. Is there nothing in these? Okay, still nothing. There's absolutely nothing in this room. Kind of don't want to go that way, but I feel like I have to. Oh, hello, talkie thingy. You are my friend.
To finish this little overview of our tools, I must mention the material editor, available both standalone and built into the other editors.
Why is my vision
The program
doing this?
itself is very simple to use. You have some material types
Luis, what
defined
did
by
you do
the
to me?
engine, and you can throw in textures to be used for diffuse, normal maps, height maps, as well as some variables to control specific parameters for a material type. When I was writing it, I could just stare while the preview model rotated around itself and the parallax mapping effect was on when testing, just for fun.
Okay.
Another piece of the toolset is the model editor, used to create the entities you are interacting with while playing. Basically, we take a model and set up some parameters like physical bodies, joints, and user-defined variables. We can also attach sub-entities to them, like lights, particle systems. When an entity is finally set up, it is ready to be placed in a level using the level editor. Samples of entities here are doors, lamps, most furniture, critters.
Oh, yes. Box. Sounds being kind of weird in my headset. Okay.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger.
What the hell?
Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. I was trapped.
Whoa. Okay.
This level was changed a lot, and I think it's one of the most tweaked levels that we got. Not only was it part of the big archives level that we had to split up, but it was also hard to get engaging enough. The problem here is that we don't have any sort of fun mechanic that we rely on to make the game engaging. Instead, we rely on story, atmosphere and environment. This is true for many other levels and the game as a whole, but this was kind of the one of the larger levels that we made, and also one that didn't have much puzzles and such. So when testing it, we quickly get bored with it, and we wanted to add more spooky events to spice it up.
Please don't.
But then later on, testing proved that these events weren't that necessary, and we also felt that they were a bit lame and not fitting, so we decided to remove them. Then the back part of the level, we wanted to make that a more linear experience, with the current player getting trapped and all, forcing the player to solve the destroy wall and find secret door puzzles. Previously, testers often missed that they can solve these problems. The level is now very different from the early designs.
Okay, so I don't like the way that's looking. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? What the hell was that noise? Okay, my brain is orange. Hello?
This level was changed a lot, and I think it's one of the most tweaked levels that we got. Not only was it part of the big archives level that we had to split up, but it was also hard to get engaging enough. The problem here is that we don't have any sort of fun mechanic that we rely on to make the game engaging. Instead, we rely on story, atmosphere and environment. This is true for many other levels and the game as a whole, but this was kind of the one of the larger levels that we made, and also one that didn't have much puzzles and such. So when testing it, we quickly get bored with it, and we wanted to add more spooky events to spice it up.
Brain is really
but then later
right
on,
now.
Testing proved that these events weren't that necessary, and we also felt that they were a bit lame and not fitting, so we decided to remove them. Then the back part of the
When I
level,
started writing, I had only
Michael, hi.
outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document. So I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way,
Does this open?
and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about.
It does open.
I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
Tinderbox, yes. I need those. Why can I open this? Okay. I'm gonna read. I'm sorry. What's sorry. What the hell is happening? Hello?
17th May,
Hello?
1839. After
what?
pounding the unforgiving stone wall
What
for what
the
seemed
actual
like
hell?
an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped.
Excuse
I fell
me.
to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a
What
faint
the-
blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
What is
It
this?
was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light.
Okay, hello light.
I reached out, closing it in my hands.
What
The
is
faint
this?
glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The
Okay.
next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
So that was spooky. Wasn't there another chest? Damn it. Where's where did that come from? Hold up. I don't have a lot of oil. Yeah, I can light you. You're not as bright as my lamp, but I guess you'll have to do. I can't light you. Okay. What the?
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long
The hell
until
is the
things start
shadow?
falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce
Right.
weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs.
Hello?
Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Okay. I do not know what's happening. Fragile but not breakable by hand. What can I use to break it then? See, is there anything in here? Hold on. I am stuck in here. Can I? Okay. I'm just gonna use a chair. See if that'll break it. Right. Hey. Kinda don't want to go through there, but hey.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
I really wish I knew what the hell was going on. Okay, Daniel. We gotta be careful. More oil. Yes. Okay. Box. I do not need box. What the? Can I not break that? Should be able to break it. So I can pick up this thing. No. Okay, it broke. Aldstedt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Aldstedt. Deep within the East Prussian woods, for centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet, forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. As any local, you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. Okay, I do not care. It's locked. How do we unlock it then? I don't have any more tinder boxes, and I'm running out of oil. Should be something. Hello? Oh, that's just a random book. Grabbing you. Is there like a key or something? No? What's that up there? Oh, I guess that's nothing. Okay, I should have saved one of my tinder boxes. There must be something that I can use. Should save my oil. Ooh, tinderbox. Yes. God damn it. What is this? That's nothing, apparently. Okay. Well, at least I found another tinder box. Go back to here. Let me light you. Okay, so there's a light right here, right there. There's something I'm missing. There must be a way in. Ah. Side of this. No, throwing it doesn't work. Wait, this book looks awfully... Oh wait, there's more than one. Oh shit. Okay, so there's this one. Where's the other ones? Right here. Is that it? No, that's not it. So that's one. That's another one. Okay. So let me just wait. One. Whoa. Got him. Hey. Nice. Now what is in here? Nothing in there. Making sure there's no tinder boxes or oil. Ooh. Closing the wine cellar. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. What? It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Okay, so human subjects. Whoa, whoa. Okay, just gonna... Well, on that note, I'm just gonna end this shiznit right here and continue into the wine cellar in the next episode. I will see you guys later. Peace out.